you. So when we talk about the reproductive system of the female, it's basically everything that comes together to make us women, starting from your ovaries, your fallopian tubes, your breasts, your uterus, your cervix, your vagina. All of those things coming together to ensure us as women. So each and every part of this part of our reproductive system can have issues associated with it, that is diseases or concerns, which seems to be a major concern for most of these women. Unfortunately, in our side of the world, as I usually put it, we do not open up too much about it. We tend to shield it in such a way that most women who have issues concerning their reproductive system are not able to voice out concerning it. They're not able to speak up. They're not able to go to the clinic to ensure that the best care is given to them. That also goes down to ensuring that our women are empowered enough to ensure that they're seeking the right medical service for themselves. So we'll start with the menstruation. The most commonest is the most common is dysmenorrhea. That's painful menstruation.
Right.
Most women go through that period of painful menstruation with each cycle. Some can be not explanatory, but some, when you delve in further, you tend to find out that maybe they may be having an issue like endometriosis or uterine fibroids. For our parts of the world, the commonest is uterine fibroids. Uterine fibroids, one of the risk factors, unfortunately, is Africans. Yes. So when you go in to do a scoping or a scanning, you tend to see these uterine fibroids. Most people shield it because of some sort of stigma. You know, a woman gets, it tends to grow, and then when she has this little pouch, she's been asked, are you pregnant?
Yeah.
Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? When are you giving birth? It seems like you've been pregnant for such a long time. When is the baby popping?
I know. None of your business.
You know, so these are the concerns associated.
But why Africans? What is it about we Africans?
Well, the true cause isn't really known why it's specific to just the African race. Although there've been some rare cases in Caucasians or other races, but it's most predominant in the African race. Yes, just like we have other diseases that are predominant in the Caucasian or the other races.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So so I was saying, when you have the uterine fibroids, there's no shame in that. There are management plans, so long as you speak to a gynecologist, so long as you seek that health care first, you'll be able to understand the management plans available to help you in whatever regard. Some people tend to hear there's a lot of information flying around. The best information you can get is when you visit a specialist. Nobody knows more than the person that has actually studied for it.
Right.
It's good to attach your prayers, it's good to have a good support system, but it's important that you speak to a specialist regarding any concerns of the reproductive system. There's the fertility issues, which a lot of people tend to mostly blame the women for. But since we're talking about women today, we'll just tackle that aspect. So lots of factors can go into why maybe a woman of childbearing age is not conceiving at a particular point. Most of the factors include stress. A lot of stress factors, when placed, it's very difficult for a woman to...
It affects your reproductive system?
Yes, it does. Because when you're stressed, most people don't even menstruate when they're stressed. They're with so much stress, you are not even able to properly menstruate. That's when you have the irregular cycling. And ovulation comes menstruation. So if you're not properly ovulating, you will not be able to necessarily conceive, just to put it in layman's terms.
Okay.
You know, so stress factors, a lot from home, from work, all around you. If you are significantly under undue stress, it's possible that you would have issues with fertility. We have the polycystic ovarian syndrome, we have the uterine fibroids. Depending on the size, location of the fibroid, it may also hinder your ability to conceive. So that's where it's important that you seek expert care. And then we have the issues of the breast, you know, the breast cancers, the cervix, cervical cancer, so many issues associated with that. Yes.
Right. We will definitely want to know some of the causes of these things, because if this, the ovarian cyst, is it something that the person is doing wrong, that the person is going to get it? Because we know that the fibroids is more of African based. But talking about the cyst, talking about, we know we speak about the cancers as well, which we're still trying to find causes of cancer. But we talk about the cervix and the ovarian cyst, because with that alone, and the pelvic inflammation as well,
the pelvic
what could be
disease.
the causes?
Well, infections, usually for those of the pelvic inflammatory disease, infection seems to be one of the leading causes of that. And with the PCOS and the uterine fibroids, most of it is, we don't necessarily have causes for that. It's more of risk factors associated to these things. It could be your hormone imbalance. It could be maybe an early menarche or a late menarche. You know, those kinds of things are what puts a person or a female in that position to possibly be at risk of having these diseases.
Right. You have any questions, Ginny, Stephanie?
Well, I mean, talking about ovarian cyst, when I was 21, just after I got married, I used to have really bad periods.
Yes.
And occasionally I'd even black out.
Oh, wow.
And yes, it was that painful. And I remember before I got married, my uncle said I should go and see a gynecologist. I did. They did a smear test, and they did some scans and found out that I had an ovarian cyst, or I was prone to it. And there was a small one actually growing. So I was going to go and have the cyst removed when they found out that I was pregnant.
Okay.
And obviously, I actually was checked in, and then, which was weird because they should have actually known before I came in. And so they put it off, and I had my first child. And I never actually, I think it shrunk or something. I don't even,
Oh, it can shrink.
Yes. So it's all hormonal. You know, when you're having your menses, there's a lot of hormone surges, and then when the menses is over, then it depreciates. So usually when a woman goes into a facility and she's, they find out that she is pregnant, it's more of the risk against the benefits, which is why they called off the surgery, because you're going in to take out a cyst that is probably very tiny and it poses no risk to the child or to you. So why don't we just leave it there, ensure that mother and baby are safe? After delivery, then we can consider either taking out the cyst, or if it shrinks, then that would be the end of